Hey dudes, this is Reagan again with Texas Defense Articulations. I think we're on episode 7 of Whiskey with Reagan. So today I have brought some Western Sun Texas bourbon whiskey. I actually just saw it in the liquor store in the aisle, and it was about the price that I tend to find whiskeys that I like, decently cost effective. And so I decided to try it. Pretty good. I will not say it's going to be one of the ones that I constantly buy tons of, but I'll probably pick this up again. So I'm not a super collector or anything like that. I've had a couple of guys be like, yeah, I've got 50 whiskeys, and I'm like, I don't keep any of them around that long. So give me a little sniff of it right here. Get the plug back up, and you guys can see it for whatever reason. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. But I like whiskey, and I wanted to try it out. So it's actually pretty good. Yeah, we'll move on from that. So anyway, one of the things I get asked the most often is, hey, what TV shows do you watch? And my answer is, I don't watch TV. So I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that. I know that comes off as like, oh, this guy thinks he's smarter than everybody else. I'm like, it's not really it. I just put no value in that type of entertainment. Couple bit aspects to that. So if you know anything about me, I actually earned a degree in theater. It helped pay for college, blah, 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 blah. I didn't walk and actually get the paper and anything because I stopped caring about that long before that. So anyway, not to go too far into it or anything like that, but spent some time kind of around the industry and around those people. And I did make some lifelong friends that I'll talk to. I'll talk to them multiple times this week. It's the week of Christmas, or it's about to be the week of Christmas. Somewhere, I'm in December right now. So, however, I got to work with a lot of people who are basically walking trash. Just in what I've found in speaking with actors that were in that arena, and then in other arenas that got to be exposed to while I was going through this process of learning to act and going and seeing shows and getting behind the scenes and like, oh, this is how you get set up in New York or California. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, just incredibly empty people. They spend most of their time pretending to be somebody else or trying to get a part to pretend to be somebody else. And it's just not good on their psyche. So I don't put a lot of value in their opinions other than how to do things like that, which I'm not interested in. So, if they're pro-Democrat, pro-Republican, pro-Libertarian, honestly, just don't care what they all got to say. If they're pro-gun, anti-gun, if it's an actor or a celebrity, honestly, at all, I'm like, it's what they think is completely and totally irrelevant. So don't really want anything to do with that. So a really good reason, or I'm going to reinforce this with one particular thing. So September 11th happened while I was in school. I was a part of a very big play, and I had a pretty serious part in it. And I had participated in some search and rescue at Hurricane Allison, and I want to say the year 2000, not too long before that. And so when September 11th happened, we see there's need for rescuers in New York. Immediately, I'm like, hey, I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm probably going to end up having to go up and do some work in New York. And I already had a plan. I had cash for fuel, and I was going to drive my truck 2,500 miles and get it up there and do some work. As a college kid, like, just thinking of like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and make this happen. I'm a pretty determined person. However, the guy's response that was heading up the play was like, if you go do that, when you come back, you'll be singing soprano. And so while it was kind of a joke, what showed me in that moment is that his play, which is entertainment, was more important than actually helping when a nation got a pretty serious kick to the nuts. So here's the deal now. I am about to be 41, and I have 2 children. And I would have much rather been able to tell my kids that I was part of the 9/11 relief effort in some way, even though I was passing out water at a checkpoint 40 miles from the Twin Towers, more than I was in fill in the blank play. So that really made me lose an enormous amount of respect for that whole industry. In his defense, a lot of people have done a lot of work, but comparatively, I really shouldn't have cared. So I did stay. I did stay and continue and do my part and everything like that. I didn't get a chance to go up there. There's a couple other things that got in the way of making that happen, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't have gotten out of. But that was the one thing that kind of kept me there. So I'm pretty turned off to it on that. So next big thing is Hollywood's trash. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's nothing coming out of there that's actually good for the United States of America or pretty much any other country on the planet other than maybe China. So not a big fan of anything they put out as far as that goes. So, and let's not forget that there's a high percentage of pedophiles out there too. So I don't really want anything to do with that. I don't want to support it. However, I will admit that I am a dad and a husband. So I have to every now and then sit through some stuff that I don't really want to. So if I do end up going to the movies or anything like that, 100% of the time it is with my wife and kids, and it is for them to have a good time, not worry about any of this other stuff, and it's just for me to go. I'm there to be with them, and that's it. So I could go really far into that, but I really don't want to. Those people have nothing to offer you. Their entertainment has nothing for you. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it. There's a lot of things that I do that may not be the best thing for me. But also in moderation. So one of the last things I'll leave you with on this is the things that you put into your soul and through your eyes and ears, it has an effect on you. You can pretend all day long that it doesn't, but it absolutely does. There are hundreds. This is one of the most studied and conclusive subjects out there, is that the type of entertainment you keep and the amount of the entertainment that you consume has an absolute causational effect on the way that you act. So, you don't like it, look it up. If it's not peer-reviewed, let it go. If it's sponsored by somebody else that may or may not have a media conglomerate attached to them, you should probably disregard that study. But it has an effect on you. So be careful what you immerse yourself in. If you like violent media or anything like that, hey, that's fine, but be careful about it. Don't just sit there and constantly watch that garbage or watch it over and over again where it just compounds and makes garbage into your mind, because it's garbage in, garbage out. It's going to happen. In the same way that things you drink and eat have an effect on your body, the things that you consume through your eyes and ears have an effect on your mind and also your soul. So be careful with that, because it's the only one you get. So anyway, don't want to deep dive too much further in on that, but if you want a second one, hey, just let me know. I'll make another video about this. So I'm almost at my time. So out.